So now we're going to work on the present level page. And again, it's right as you move down, it's right under disabilities. We're moving into the next section. So these are mainly two text boxes. The top one is where you're going to type in your present level of academic achievement and functional performance. And the second one is where you're going to type in the needs of the student, the educational needs. So if you're the only service provider working on this, you will just entirely type in here, and then you're done. However, most kiddos have multiple service providers working on things and maybe also getting information from other people. So you can come in here and you can type in all of your information that you need to put into the IEP. And please refer to your due process manual for appropriate ways to write present level and what is required by the state and our district. So you're going to type into this field, and then you're also going to say what the student needs. And we're going to type that into this field. And I would highly recommend, as I've said before, hitting submit often with this, especially if you're writing about all areas of development. You're going to want to hit submit often. Now when you're in here, you can also spell check your work. You can bold and italicize and underline things. You do have some formatting options at the top. Most often you're only going to use more of your bold, italics, and underlined, and then your spell check. The other part that you might be doing is something that we call appending. So when you're appending, you're pulling information into this document from another location. So I'm going to append draft program. So that means somebody else, so say my speech clinician or my occupational therapist, they already wrote a present level or a part of the present level for an area that they're working on. And so they wrote it, but they do not have access directly into the child's IEP, unlike the eval report where we all can get directly in. That doesn't happen in the IEP. We keep it separate. So you have to click on Append Draft Program, and it'll show you if anyone has ever written anything about this child. And so I'm just going to clear this real quick. You can see, let's go back, that my occupational therapist had written something. So she wrote something about the student, and I want to acknowledge that she wrote it, and then I want to append it. So this is clear, acknowledge, append, lock, and delete. So I want to append it. So I'm going to acknowledge that it's here, and I'm going to append it. If this person had this left in draft, I may want to send them an email and ask them if they're done. Student plans will actually give you a warning when you hit submit, and it'll say, you know, it appears the person is still working on this. Are you sure you want to append it? And then at that point, it would be really smart to send your service provider an email and say, you know, have you finished this up? I need to get it in today. So you're going to acknowledge and append. And then you're also going to say which IEP you want it to go into. The only one pulling up is the one that I'm working on right now, but sometimes you might see multiple in there. The student has multiple IEPs. So I'm going to hit submit. And right here you can see that it pulled in the wonderful statement that they had written for me. And in the future, when you are done, it is also a good idea to go back and delete this down the road. So when you're writing the next IEP, it's a very good opportunity to delete the old stuff from the year before. So if you hit delete, it'll take it out of there. But this stuff will remain here. As you can see, this person, when we were creating this, actually wrote this in 2013, and it's been here the whole time. So you're going to want to delete some of these things after a while. When you're in this, you can also look up here, and it'll show you if there are other areas that the person or that people have given you draft components. And they have given me draft components and services. So I could choose right now to also append that, but right now we're working mainly on the present level. So I'm going to focus just on that. So now I'm back to the present level. You cannot append straight down into the student needs area. So often staff might write their narrative for the present level, and then they might have the student needs. And so you can simply Control C, come down here and Control V, and then their needs, maybe statement that they had written, will show up right there, and then you can delete it from the top. So then remember, again, submit often. You can also append data straight from the evaluation report. So what it'll do when you hit that is it'll bring you into kind of a PDF version of their eval report, and you can open a certain area, and this is all we had written because these are samples, and so I can highlight it, Control C, and then I can come back over here and hit Control V, and it'll cut and paste it. So that's a really cool way to jump between information, because often you might have this present level performance and educational needs down here. You might have the perfect list of educational needs. You just want to take them, Control C, bring them over, put them right down here, Control V, and there they are. So you can append a draft that a service provider has written. You can append data from an evaluation report, and you can also get information from tracks. I'm not going to show that in this video because this isn't connected to a real student, but those are the ways that you can bring data into here besides writing it yourself. So again, give it a quick spell check and then hit submit. And that's how you append and write the present level of academic achievement and functional performance.